nothing on WSMN 1590 AM and 95.3 FM. Streaming at WSMN.live.
The views and opinions of the following show do not reflect those of WSMN, its owners, and/or associates.
Lisa and Robin are two fun friends diving deep into conversations where nothing is taboo. They believe in eating dessert before dinner and wearing the bikini. They're allergic to labels, authority, and cheap shoes. Currently, they're launching themselves through life being the good time, bold enough to take risks and inquisitively asking, what's next? They hail from New Hampshire, but they could be anywhere dressed in cute clothes. If they had to share a tombstone, it would read, "Curiosity killed these cats." Your hosts, Lisa and Robin on the mic.
Welcome to Lisa and Robin on the mic. You are listening on WSMN 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, and listen on WSMN.live as well as YouTube. We're always up where you find your favorite podcasts on Spotify and everywhere else. We are sans Robin today, but we are with Juan Rosario. Welcome.
Heyo.
And he is going to be in Dover this evening with a couple of other comedians, right?
I'll be with Mona Forgione, actually. She is a great comedian. She'll be hosting for the evening. Mona will be hosting. I have Joshua Cowan as the guest spot. I have Brian Rojas as the feature, and I'll be headlining the show.
Nice. And if you don't know where Fuego is, you should know where Fuego is. It is at 368 Central Ave in Dover, New Hampshire.
Yes.
So that starts, doors open at 7. They feature food and alcohol at Fuego, and the show will start at 8. So that'll be a great time.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. We're halfway sold out, so that's going to be good too. And obviously all the ads and everything that are working pretty good. It's always nice when you like put out ads and it actually works, when you get like the little receipts that they're like, impressions made, and you're like, okay, good. It's I'm actually getting my money's worth. Because sometimes before it didn't show you like how many people were clicking on it, and you're like, is this thing on? Like, is this working?
Well, I was talking to a client yesterday, and he had a rental, and he was saying, I always used to use Facebook, and now I have no idea how Facebook works anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he wasn't the first person who said that. I have a woman who does facials, and another person who their only method of advertising was Facebook.
Okay.
And they've all had to change their marketing platforms because it doesn't work anymore.
No.
And Facebook will call them or email them or however they get in touch with them saying, hey, you're not doing your ads. And they're like, because whatever you've changed.
It doesn't work.
Can you put it back? And they're like, no.
Sorry, it's not part of the metaverse. So no.
Like, what can we do to get you advertising? Do it the way you used to do it.
Do what you did.
No.
That's it. Sorry,
no,
sweetie.
we're not going to do that.
When you did that voice, I don't know. Have you seen the movie Obsession yet, by chance?
No.
Oh, did you see or hear about it or see the trailer?
No.
Oh, okay. Obsession, for the listeners, if you haven't watched it, you have to watch it. Fellas, take your ladies to watch it, and you'll know whether or not if you guys can be together, because it's a movie about this guy is obsessed with this girl. Her name is Nikki. His name is Bear. Bear's obsessed with Nikki, but Bear won't tell Nikki that he loves her. He refuses to tell her, and she kind of views him like a brother, but she doesn't actually say it, but you can kind of feel that, dynamic. One night she asked him, hey, do you like me? Like, I need you to tell me right now, do you like me? He goes, no. And she was like, okay. As she's walking away, he like makes a wish, basically, and it's like a thing that you like break, and he basically wishes that she's obsessed with him. And the whole entire movie is just her obviously being obsessed with him. But the thing is that when you go watch that movie, especially if you're with your significant other, your partner, female, a guy, girl, they, them, you have to watch their reaction to the things, because my reaction was like, I was terrified. This was an actual horror movie for me. It's just this chick being obsessed with you, and like the things that she's doing is like, it's great, but it's also like
single white female-ish.
Yeah, like it was very like it played on a lot of emotional things that happen in like relationships, where like if like she flips the switch on you, or like if she's happy and then really sad, and then it was terrifying to watch. But then
psychological thriller,
and it's funny, and it's not really supposed to be funny, but most of the movie is so funny. But it's funny because you're like, oh my god, this is real. Like, I've been through this. This is terrifying. I didn't make the wish, and this is terrifying.
Yeah.
And it just shows how like dumb boys are, because he's like, he's like, I want you to be upset. I want her to be obsessed with me, and then she's obsessed with him. He's like, okay, maybe never mind. But then they'll like have sex or they'll hook up, and he'll be like, okay, actually, yeah, this is great. I love this. Yeah, it's a great movie just for like conversation. It's phenomenal.
Have you heard of the book The Game
The Game, no.
by Neil Strauss?
I know the rapper The Game. No.
Okay, so he used to write for like Rolling Stones. He's a journalist.
Okay.
And so he kind of took a journalistic approach to like, I'm going to get women to be into me.
Okay.
So he took a journalistic approach. And one of the things he tells guys is like, you got to get your bedroom. If you want women to go there, you're going to make it a place women want to go. So you have to have like your bed
fair.
off of the ground, have sheets.
You gotta have a mattress from a frame, yeah.
A mattress, not a sleeping bag. Like so he does all these things. But he tells guys, you should really treat them like crap.
Oh my God.
And he does that whole thing, and then he has to. So this book becomes famous. Then women start reading the book because they're like, "What's happening?"
Yeah. What's the hype?
Right. And so now it's like this whole thing. But he says he regrets writing that book now because it's always referred, and he's grown so much since that time period.
Yeah.
Right. Because everything that we do, we evolve, hopefully, and grow, hopefully,
Yeah,
right?
well,
as mature and become adults, or get married and have better relationships, right? If you're all judged by your 19-year-old relationship,
if you're judged
to
by
some lunatic that you should have never been with, and you became a lunatic with them,
yeah,
like I look at some relationships and I'm like, imagine if that continued, I would be a crazy person.
Yep.
Having to interact with that
constantly
all the time.
the entire time. How did I do it for even a year?
Yeah, like so that's how I felt about my birth family. Like if I had to continue maintaining a relationship with, I'm crazy. I would have to be crazy to deal with crazy.
Deal with the crazy. Yep.
Right? You
fight fire with fire.
Right. So so that when you say about obsession, because he writes about how to lure a woman in and then keep her just at the point where she always wants more. And I'm like, but that wouldn't have worked with me when I was 19, because I wanted what I wanted, and if I couldn't have it, I just don't want it anymore.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
I was like, make yourself not want it.
Yeah, just forget about it and just move on. Yeah,
Just
that's
move
fair.
on.
As it should be too.
Because I was like, I don't like the tango dance.
Yeah,
They're like,
cat
do
and
you
mouse.
want me?
Oh.
Do you want, like, I don't like that. I don't like it in a friendship.
All or nothing. Sorry.
Like either we're adults.
Yeah.
This is either on something or it's not. I don't want to know, do I constantly not know where I stand, or I'm wanting more that you're not willing to give? Like
those are called situationships nowadays. Yeah.
like life is so difficult.
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't have a difficult enough life that you need to make a relationship difficult.
Yeah.
But, I'm not into that. What is it like? You said that you are single. What is it like out in the single world for you? Frightening. Very, very frightening.
Frightening. Girls are telling you things that they like to do that you're like, I don't even know your favorite color yet. You're like, you're out to eat and they're like, I like my toes sucked. And you're like, I thought we were having a nice conversation.
Can we split this bill? Because I'm not a toe sucker.
I'm not a toe sucker. It's like,
so can we just friendship this now? Half.
Yeah,
I'll go on my way.
And I appreciate it, though, because it's like love on the spectrum, because you'll be like, it's like, I like Batman. You don't like Batman? Oh, I got to go. That's too bad.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's I love it. The way that they do the way that they do dating on Love on the Spectrum is phenomenal, because you're either, like you said, it's in or out. Like, that's it. There's no in between.
Yes.
And, but there's, have you watched the show? Or?
So I avoided watching it for the longest time because I thought they were making fun of them.
Fair.
And
That's
I
fair.
was like, please do not.
Yeah.
Life is difficult enough without you now abusing the situation.
Them calling it Love on the Spectrum is insane.
It's insane, right? That the pitch crew and that there was someone like funding it tomorrow. Give me a script.
Yeah.
I want to see this. And then I started watching it and I fell in love with the people.
Yes.
But what I fell in love with, and what I say all the time, is they're not off. They're actually not off.
Yeah.
They
normal.
know what they like.
Mm-hmm.
They know what's going to work. They're not fooling around. I don't have time for this. And I loved every single thing about Love on the Spectrum. I've watched, I think, every season.
Okay. I started watching, I forget, I think it's season 3 now, but I forget their names again. I'm horrible with names, but there is this one guy, and he's not into sex. I think he's Latino. He's not like into sex or like kissing or anything like that. But like the girl is really into kissing and all that. And she's like, when are we gonna like do it? When he's like, whenever we're ready, like whenever. And I was just like, that's a mood. Like that's so wholesome, you know, just to watch. Yeah.
And she's funny because she wants to have sex with all. Like she's like. She's down.
She's down, literally.
Yeah. Things are working and she's ready, you know. And that's just like one of the things I really liked was James, because he'd be like, oh, when he gets uncomfortable.
Yes, James.
And so we started bringing that into our real lives. Like this would be like your cue to stop, because I'm like, I've had enough.
Like, hey, how do you feel about sushi?
And then I love when the girl's smiling at him and he says, you know, baring your teeth is a form of aggression in some cultures. I'm like, and with animals too. So he's not far off.
Not far off, yeah.
I could totally see that, but she can't be together because she likes to smile.
Yep.
You know. Oh, but I feel like everyone's dating is love on the spectrum.
Yes. First off, I like to tell people. I used to work with people with developmental disabilities, and I went to school for occupational therapy. So I've been around that population for like a couple of years. And one, obviously, they're normal. They're just like us. Obviously, they just have certain inhibitions or inabilities to stop certain things, and that's totally fine. Because every now and then, I want to throw my phone, or I will throw my phone against the wall if I have to, you know, kind of thing. But I loved working with them. Where I worked, it was Crotchet Mountain, and they didn't tell me this, but my role was a professional cock blocker, because
because they were wanting to get down.
Because they were like, this is one client, and he will get jiggy with anybody, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's fine. I'm just over my head.
Can I
like,
spray him with water like I do the dog?
like I did.
Can we like?
Do I have to give him magazines? Should I not touch his things? Everything's so sticky and crunchy. And they didn't tell me, they told me that, like he just likes to, anyone that he can get, and like the other clients, other patients, people, they're down as well. So they're just like, you have to make sure that he just doesn't. So I just spent my entire shift basically just making sure that I was just cock blocking him the entire time. And it was like, wow, this is what my life has come to. I love this.
What'd you do today? It was very busy.
It was very busy.
It was very busy. He was maneuvering.
Yeah. You ever put your hands on someone without having to put your hands on someone while they're trying to get busy? It's like, now I'm part of this. Now this is a threesome. This is
very inappropriate, yet very appropriate at the same time. Well, there was one neighbor that always wants a hug, and you're like,
yeah.
Were
your parents?
I'm going to say he should have been on the spectrum, but no one back then.
Okay.
None of us were, it was, they would tell us stop being retarded.
Yeah.
And they would whack us. And I remember when I used the word, and I remember the first time someone corrected me, I didn't know we weren't using it anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, I meant the way the electrical circuits work. Like, this isn't working.
Yes.
I don't mean I would never refer to a person with Down syndrome as retarded.
Right.
Ever.
It's the
in my
actual
entire
word
life.
itself. It's just the slowdown or the retardation of something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's how you meant it. That's how you knew it as. Yeah.
And that's the way I knew it as.
Yeah.
We weren't making fun of people who had a condition.
Yeah.
We were talking about you. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah. No, you guys.
we weren't talking about them. We were talking about you.
You guys are like, no, we weren't calling you retarded. We were actually just putting the people that were mentally ill in facilities and then just leave them locked away.
Oh, until what's his name? Oh, Geraldo?
Greg Geraldo, the news guy?
Yes.
The journalist? Yes. Yeah.
He went into basically a mental institution and reported what they were doing
yeah.
And that literally shut down all institutions.
Yep.
And now they're on Main Street in Nashua.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they're in apartment buildings that you live in Nashua. And in Manchester and in other places.
There's a famous facility. I had a client that, and you can't say the word hit around him because they would hit him, and they would he would I think he had like Parkinson's and autism and a couple of things, but if now when I was treating him, I couldn't say the word hit around him because anytime at the facility they would hit him and they would say don't do that, and then in order to get him to stop they'd be like hit, and if he didn't stop they would hit him. And I was like, that is insane. That's like the tip of the iceberg, because I had other clients. There's a facility in New Hampshire that closed down in the 80s or 90s because they got sued because of the whole abuse and everything. And that was actually most of my clients in Crotchet Mountain. It was people from that facility, but a lot of them shared a lot of those type of stories, and some of them didn't like to be like held or like touched because they were
Abused.
constantly abused. And I was like, this is insane. This is how we were treating people in the 70s and 80s. Can we do that to people now? Still no.
Right. Is there a group?
Yeah, I think we can do that, but just like with the not the clinically insane, but the mentally insane, but the actual
really
like,
difficult people.
Yeah.
The people that just won't conform to society in any kind of way.
Mhm.
And we were talking on the break about how dating and all of that, and then I was saying that everything's too individualized now.
Yes.
Everyone wants their world and to always revolve around them.
Yes.
That they don't understand we're a collective and we're a society and we have a culture, and then when you go someplace else that's another culture, and that they also have the right to be where they are doing their thing. We we want it went too far. There was a comedian, he's Chinese, and I can't remember his name, but he says like moving to the United States is crazy because you guys like think the world revolves around you.
Yeah.
Like in China, if the train is about to shut its doors and you stick your arm through, you're losing that arm.
Yep.
We would never think to stop an entire
train
because
scheduled train.
You wanted to get on.
Yep.
And here you're all sticking your arms in elevators and trains, and to see it from his perspective was like, yeah, of course. Now, I've never been to China. I don't know what that looks like.
What the culture is or anything.
Yeah, I've never been, I've recently been to Greece, and
Nice.
that's still, similar in culture in a lot of ways, and how different some stuff is too. But I think that's one of the benefits of travel is to have your eyes open.
It literally expands your horizon, 100%.
And then allows you to love the thing that you love. Like I came back, I'm like, I love a parking lot.
Yeah.
I go to Greece.
I love running
it's
water.
Yes, I love sewer systems that you flush toilet paper inside
Toilet
the
paper,
toilet.
yep.
I love it. But like, and you think, and I joke the whole time I'm in Greece, I'm like, Rome was right there. They had the sewer systems. Since Jesus Christ, they had the sewer
aqueducts.
systems. They had aqueducts. Let's go. You didn't just, because the Greeks will always tell you what they invent.
Yes.
Because they're
Math,
the beginning
gyro,
of
pedophilia.
They're the beginning of like civilization.
Yeah.
In according to them.
Yes.
Right. But I'm like, but Rome was right there, and they had sewer systems, and they had wine, and they had the aqueduct. And there's a scene in Life of Brian, to bring it back to that movie, because there's always a faction of people who's against the Romans.
Okay. Yeah.
And they can't remember the names because they're always like the People's Republic Peoples of, and all that stuff, and so they want to abduct Pontius Pilate's wife. And issue demands. And so every time they're like, we hate the Romans. What have the Romans ever done for us? And someone will be like, sanitation. And they're like, yeah, obviously the sanitation.
But what else?
But they've never done aqueduct, and they start doing all of the things that the Romans brought. And so then they start, okay, besides sanitation, roads, whatever, wine, whatever.
What else have they provided?
What else are they doing for us? Really? What are the Romans doing?
That's great. I love
It's
that.
a great little
That's
scene.
a good bit.
It's a great scene. But yeah, so back to the dating. Okay, because we kind of loved on the spectrum. Tell me what you've got. So how do you do the date? Do you find them in real life, or do you find them online?
Yeah, I do not do the online date. I can't do the online dating.
Yeah, I think that's good.
You just can't. You have your guard up immediately. Because
everyone lies online
everybody
too.
lies.
And there's no chemistry.
I lie.
You have to know about
my
chemistry.
Tinder profile said I was 5'11" 3/4. I'm 5'11" and 1/4. Like,
and I really think tall when I first meet her.
yeah, exactly. I actually have the best posture on the first date. The more you are with a woman,
and you don't cut your hair right before it. You're like tees in the front. Look taller.
Wear my little 3-inch heels.
Yes, your
the shoes.
Prince boots.
My Prince boots. Yeah. But no, it's cool. I enjoy. I'm an only child, or I grew up most of my life an only child. So I'm very happy within myself. I can go to the movies by myself. I can go to dinner by myself. I can meet people and just interact with them. And then at the end of the day, like right now, I live by myself, so I can just go home and just be by myself and be comfortable with that. So I think that's also like a good start of just anything, just like being able to be on your own, because and I hate to use them as like the the what's it called, the golden standard of like relationships, but not the golden standard, but Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. He basically was like, your happiness doesn't depend on my happiness, and I'm not supposed to make you happy. You're supposed to make yourself happy. I'm supposed to make myself happy, and we're two happy people that come together, and so on and so forth, and experience life. And I agree with that, because it's like when you become too dependent on that person or anything like that, it gets toxic. It becomes obsession, like it becomes.
Yeah, and also it's a burden.
It's a burden.
If you're the person in the relationship that needs the other person to make you happy, they might be barely making it through their own day, and now I have to make sure that, and now you need to be happy,
yeah. My homegirl hit me with this term, emotional bandwidth, and I was like, yes, that's what it is. It's like you have to ask sometimes, hey, do you have the emotional bandwidth to hear about what I'm going through? Because you are going to do your old stuff as well. So I don't want to unload on you, if you're not ready or if you're not in that space. And, it's a nice, healthy thing, whatever. But, but right now, like, I am just literally hanging out, just like I'm the same way that I am in a relationship, in the sense where I just like meet people and I just talk to people and I don't expect anything out of them. It's the same way I am single. So it's like, I feel like for me, nothing really changes outside of, actually having someone to share, life with, essentially.
Yeah. And you'll find the right person. And I think when you don't outwardly look for them, they show up.
Yeah, that's how it works. Anytime you're looking for the remote, you're like, where's the remote?
Right. Where is it?
Find it. What is going on? And then you forget about it for 3 days. And then you're like, all right, I'm going to go, do some laundry real quick. And then you pick up a shirt and you're like, why was my remote wrapped up in this shirt? Okay, cool. I found the remote. It's how life works.
Do you have a pet?
I do not.
You were thinking about getting a dog.
I know, but funny enough, I dog sat my coworker's dog, and
that cured you.
Puppy. She was a puppy. She was, I think, less than 7 months old. She was half trained. She was with me for like almost 2 weeks, so she got more trains. So like towards the end, we hit it off great towards the end, but in the beginning, I was just like, you're cute. You're a little golden doodle. So she looked like a piece of fried chicken. She was adorable.
Yeah.
But peeing on the floor, taking my shoes, chewing on the shoelaces, and I was like, I don't have the time for this. And then work on top of comedy, on top of just having a social life. I was like, I'm not ready for a dog. Yeah. So that and the reason I said yes is because I wanted to see if I was ready, and I was like, no. Yeah. I'll just keep grieving my dead dog in the meantime.
And that's good, because there's seasons for things.
Yes.
And now's your season to be free, to go do your work,
yes.
to build your comedy career. But I was sending you dogs from the animal shelter for a while. I'm like, look at this one.
People will do that because people know I want a dog or a cat or something, because I'll say it on stage. They're like, I'm looking, and then they'll send me stuff. And I'm like, I will take every single one of them. Yes. I have the space for it, but I don't have the time for it. Yes. That's like the only thing. But
that's a conscientious animal parent, because one of the reasons why I never got a dog was because I felt like my lifestyle was cat, because I might be gone for 10 hours a day. Yep. A cat doesn't. Even that's mean for a cat. Like I have a cat now that's a lap cat.
Oh, okay.
So no matter when I'm home, no matter where I am, usually the cat's with me.
Yeah.
And if I'm, I've been doing guest podcasts, and I'm like, the cat's going to be in the video, and they're like, yeah, maybe. No, I'm like, the cat's here.
No, the cat's here.
And they'll be like, oh, it's so funny, because then he'll get up to like look at the camera and stuff, because there's. Who are you talking to?
Right. Yeah, you're crazy. My owner's crazy, actually.
My owner's talking to me, not talking to you. And but I do feel like Dr. Evil, because the way for me to keep him from putting his butt at the camera directly is to keep him on my lap.
Yeah.
So I'm holding him and I'm petting him, and I just feel like Dr. Evil, like I should be.
I'd like $1 million, please.
$1 million for my lasers.
The shark lasers.
I've been saying that recently. I've been saying, because we couldn't get sharks because Shark Week was on, right? Okay. So we couldn't get sharks, because of PETA and everything, but we got bass.
Okay.
Are they ill-tempered? Yeah, okay. Because that's what he says in the show. Are they ill-tempered? So everything is now like, is it ill-tempered? Okay, all right, I can handle it. If it's ill-tempered.
That's great.
But I watched Shark Week, and I'm like, why do we watch Shark Week in the summer?
Yeah.
Shark Week should be on in November.
A winter events.
And then my nephews and their cousins are at maybe it was Hampton. I forget where we were, and they're trying to learn to boogie board.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm gonna have to go show. They're doing it so wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go show them how to do it. And then the minute I'm in, I hear the music, and I'm like, ah,
Nope, gotta get
stupid
up.
Shark Week.
Yep.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
This is how they die in horror movies.
We went to South Carolina, and I'm like, oh, I'll take my husband shark fishing. This will be cool.
Okay.
Right?
You can go fishing for sharks?
You could, but they were little baby ones.
Okay,
Little tiny
okay.
little- and you release them.
Okay, naturally.
And they take us to an island, and we get off the boat and go onto the land and just cast right in the surf.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, we catch sharks here?
Here?
And they're like,
At the
yeah,
shoreline?
they're all right here. And I'm like, so where am I going to go to the bathroom? They're like, in the water. I'm like, but there's
Well,
sharks
there's
there
sharks
now. And they were cute. They were maybe like 3 or 4 feet long.
Okay,
and
yeah.
they catch them and release them, but they're so slippery one direction, but it's just scales are like razors the other direction.
Ooh.
And they will like only pet them this way.
Because you'll cut yourself.
Well, you're not supposed to pet them at all, but when you go to pick them up to take them off, they don't want you going the opposite direction because you will just shred up your hand,
Huh.
which was true because for a second I went the wrong way and I
you
got
felt it.
I got a cut.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm bleeding. I can't go in the water
I can't
now.
go in the water. No, now the bigger ones are coming.
I was like, and so then that, every experience transforms you and ruins you simultaneously.
Yes.
Like, are they all right here this
Yeah.
whole time? Frightening.
Yeah, I mean the thing with travel, like you said, expanding your horizon. That's how I went. What is it? Swimming with dolphins in like Mexico, like a few years ago. But what came to mind was last time I was in Canada and Mexico, and I go like to different countries. I don't tell people I'm American because of the views that they have of you as being an American. Because, like you said, when you go somewhere else, you don't realize that. We think America's number one. We're number one. And it's just like you go somewhere else and everybody's like, I hate you. I despise you. You're fat. You're a cowboy. You eat Big Macs. And like
Yep.
that's what the vibe is.
If it wasn't for us, you'd all be speaking German.
Yep. Yep.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Exactly. But it's for me it's ironic that I find myself being like, oh no, like I'm Puerto Rican or I'm Dominican. I'm black. Like, but it's just because it's kind of like when you like, okay, so I'm from the Bronx. I don't like right away when I was in New Hampshire, I didn't like to tell people right away that I was from the Bronx because there's a certain stigma with the Bronx where it's like, oh, if I tell you're from the Bronx, you take like 2 steps back and like clutch your belongings. And I'm like, you really think that you're stronger than me? But like, I'm always like, oh, I get like, I don't want to open with that. And it's the same thing as like American in a different country. You're just like, I don't want you to have this perception of me because I'm much more than
Yes, the
an
label.
American or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? So,
And their idea of what an American is not what an American could be. Just like our idea of what a Greek person or an African person or an Italian person or
Exactly.
Japanese person. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And it's funny because when people talk about, so I'm proud to be an American. Whatever problems we have. There is no place without its problems.
There's no place that's perfect.
And it's always the humans that are the problem.
Yeah, 100%.
100% a human.
Common denominator.
And they're everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere you go.
Yep.
Every nationality.
Yep,
they're all there.
Shapes and sizes, colors.
Right. So, but I do think it's funny how the more you make me defend it, the more I'm proud to be it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like, really? Because when you all need something,
Mm-hmm. Who do you come to?
you're all like, you guys with the big pocketbooks and the big, and then you hate us, right? And so it's like, we're good when we're good, and then we're bad when we're bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And then there's the other part of me that's like, find something better. Pick a country you want to live in full time.
Yeah.
Full time with their financial system, with their every system
Everything
that they
comes
have.
in. Yeah.
You tell me.
Yeah, pick one.
I can't even handle parking in another country.
Yeah.
I don't drive in Greece because I don't think I can drive in Greece because I don't think I can park in Greece.
Fair.
They park. My sister-in-law, I would put her in any piece of equipment anywhere to drive.
Okay.
She's amazing, right? She's got a standard.
Okay. Love her
She
already.
can pull in a space that you're like, you're not going to fit in that space.
And
she's in that space. They're parking on sidewalks. They're amazing with their parking. But I get anxiety just as participating. I'm like, can I get out now?
Yeah, I don't want to watch.
I'll go wait in the thing. But just being while you're having to do this, and everyone's pulling up against you. Everyone's driving
A lot
crazy
happening at
fast.
once, yeah.
Yes. My cousin was driving, my husband's cousin, technically, my cousin-in-law, the mirrors were like less than a quarter of inch on either side, and he was going down the street at 40 miles an hour.
That's insane. That's some rally racing stuff.
And I'm like, and then I was just closing my eyes, and I'm like, you're doing a great job, Lenny. Great job. But I can't watch it from the back seat. And the cars are tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny.
I love the names for the cars that they have because they change them obviously from country to country. And they're like so the Hyundai Kona, right? That car exists everywhere except for in Portugal. Because in Portugal, Kona is the curse word for women's genitalia.
Okay.
So they changed the Kona to something else.
Okay.
But I just love, every country has their like little iteration of like a Toyota Corolla, and it's a Toyota Matrix, but it's not a Matrix. So we have a Matrix. So you know what I mean? It's like, it's different I love it.
Yeah. And so that was like, so I would never be able to drive in Greece. The last time we went, we stayed on the train system the whole time because it was like, who's renting a car and who's driving it?
Yeah.
Who's parking it?
Nope.
Who's parking it? Not I. And then I come here, I'm like, look at these gigantic parking lots. My gigantic car.
And people can't still figure out how to park.
And I can park here.
Yeah.
I can't park over there though. That's scary.
Yeah.
So what are some countries that you've been to?
Dominican Republic, of course. Mexico, Canada.
What part of Canada?
Montreal.
So I love Montreal.
Montreal's a mixture of New York City, DC, and what was the other one? And New Hampshire a little bit. It was like because it's very modern, but also like a lot of architectural like buildings, which I thought was beautiful.
Yeah, so I love their buildings. I love their city. I love their food.
Yes, crepes is like a big crepes. Yeah. A big thing. I had like a salmon crepe, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever." And I had it the next day, and I was like, "This is not as good." And then I had it the day after that, I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever." So 2 for 3, and I'm like, "This is." But again, I got the same thing.
Yeah.
Expand your taste, Juan.
Yeah. But I would say that they have just in general, they're like poutine. Everything that they do, I think they do is great. I think their food is better. You can't get Cool Ranch Doritos.
You can't get.
Notice next time you go to Canada, they said there's some chemical in there that's banned in their country.
Oh, well, yeah. America has like 42 products that are banned in different countries.
Yes.
We're like, yeah, we eat this.
We eat that.
Yeah.
That's ours.
I literally had Cool Ranch Doritos on the plane right here, actually.
Yeah, they're my favorite Dorito.
They're the best Doritos.
And so they start getting into all the other Doritos, I'm like, we don't need all the other Doritos.
No.
Red and the blue bag. That's all we need for Doritos.
It's like cranberry juice where they have like cran apple, cran grape, and
cran passion fruit, cran
mango, cran lemonade.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's
the cranberry salesman.
Cranberries are
gets
horse.
Around.
Yes, cranberries are horse is what I've gathered from that.
Yeah, so Montreal, I love Montreal, and I wish Canada liked us better now.
Yeah.
But did you know we Americans have been banned from buying Canadian property for a couple of years, and the ban has been
interesting
because they say that their real estate got too expensive, and it's from people outside the country buying it.
Oh.
So they have put a moratorium on
Interesting.
other countries buying their land.
That's fair. I respect that.
But America can't do that.
No.
So you know what I love is how other countries can do things that protect their country.
Yeah.
But the minute America wants to do something that protects American, it's like, we're such losers.
You know something that's actually it's funny you bring that Google is releasing mosquitoes. I don't know if you've never heard that by the look of your face. Yeah. So
the bug?
Yeah, like the actual like the Google the thing that you search, your porn on. They they make they're making mosquitoes, they're making genetically modified mosquitoes, and they're releasing them in Florida, funny enough, because they want to limit the breeding of like the female mosquitoes. Those are the ones that bite and they transmit diseases. So they're basically trying to limit, diseases, mosquitoes, and all that kind of stuff, and they're releasing them in Florida. And that's insane to me. And Trump is on TV giving a speech about it, and I hate when people do a Trump impression. So anytime I
do a good one.
Do you actually?
I kind of do a good one. You do yours. You do yours.
Well, anytime I do it in a Kermit voice because I think it's just even better.
Yes.
But he literally goes on TV and he goes, "We're gonna release the mosquitoes. We're gonna release the mosquitoes. We want them to breed with the other female mosquitoes. They're not gonna be able to breed, so they're gonna die off, and then they're gonna not breed, and they're gonna not transmit diseases anymore. We are also we're gonna make the mosquitoes gay. We're gonna make the mosquitoes gay, and they're gonna go from mosquitoes to mosquitas to they thems." That's part he didn't do, but still, it's like the fact that they're releasing mosquitoes is insane.
Why are they genetically modifying mosquitoes? I feel like this is what I don't like about scientists.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, cure cancer.
Do everything else. Yeah.
I don't know. You have so many things to do.
Yep.
And this is what you're working on in the lab.
There's people still with scoliosis.
Yes.
You know, like, go fix that.
Yeah. We've brought back several different types of diseases that we eradicated years ago. Like, what are you guys doing? I always feel like I think scientists are the scariest people on earth.
Yeah.
Because they make things like the nuclear bomb.
Yep.
And
Atomic bomb, COVID. Yeah.
COVID, all of that. So there's a book. So one of my favorite authors is Annie Jacobson.
Okay.
She's a journalist.
Okay.
And she takes really complicated government things that you would never understand and makes them English.
Love it.
So you understand it.
Yeah, layman's
so she
terms.
can tell
Love
you
it.
a story, right? Tell you what they're doing. She's actively telling you what they're doing. The first book I read, did you watch X-Files?
Growing up, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was a huge X-Files person.
Mm.
So she wrote Area 51.
Oh, okay.
It was just a black book with a door open that there was light coming through.
Yeah.
It was a perfect X-File looking book.
Yeah.
I thought it was fiction. I was walking through the bookstore. I was going on vacation. I had my books and I was like, oh, look at this, X-Files. Didn't look at the back, didn't know it was nonfiction.
Yeah.
It was a true story. Right? So, and then I'm starting to read it and I'm like, oh, but it was like, if you love X-Files, you would love this as a true story because you're like, X-Files must have pulled from all of this stuff.
Right.
So fascinating. And it's the scientists that are the problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
And there's one scene in the book where they're setting off atomic bombs and nuclear bombs. And the one in Hiroshima, whatever number it is, pretend it's 2, okay? They're letting off one that's 200 times because they wanted to know what would happen.
What would happen? What is why?
Right? You know what 2 did?
Yeah.
Multiply. Can you do math?
I was say just most of your scientists just do the math.
Multiply it out.
Yeah.
I don't know why you have to release it.
Actually do it.
And they released it at the atmospheric layer, and they thought they were going to catch the ozone and completely obliterate the Earth when it was happening. And this is in the 60s. And I'm reading it, like holding my breath, like, no, we're still here. It's okay. The scientists didn't ruin everything. And then I'm like, but then I couldn't use hairspray in the 80s. I can't use a straw.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what
I
you
gotta
guys
walk
are doing.
everywhere. I gotta take a bus. Yeah.
Right. I'm not allowed to contribute to global warming, but you're blowing
up the ozone layer itself.
Hundreds of nuclear bombs, and every country who wants to participate blows up hundreds of nuclear bombs practicing their nuclear bomb making. But I can't use a straw.
I can't use a straw.
I have to use paper that just disintegrates in my straw.
It
You have to
disintegrates
piss
in my
me
mouth.
off?
Yeah. You know that's where SpongeBob came from?
No.
Yeah. So Bikini Bottom was a bomb that they dropped. It was like Operation Bikini Bottom or something like that. And it was that's the name of the town that SpongeBob lives in. And it was so much radiation in the ocean that it morphed the fish and like changed the way that they look and all that kind of stuff, that they started to kind of look human like.
Yeah.
So then the show is basically about like Bikini Bottom and like a sponge living underwater and all these fishes, and they're living normal lives and all that. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that was the premise of that. That's really interesting.
Well, like, I'm sure it wasn't the premise. I'm sure
No, but
somebody
you know
got
what I mean,
really
like-
I'm sure somebody got really high and was like,
You know what would be great?
Operation- Yeah.
We should do, and it is great.
Yeah, it's a great show.
And it's great.
It's a great show. Tom,
You can either paint really well or create fun shows
Yes,
while you're
exactly.
high. Those
Yeah.
are the two things
those
you
are
should
the
do.
two things. Those are the two options that you have.
But don't you think that the new strains, since they've brought it, like before weed used to be like a plant in the yard,
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
and you used to get high.
Yeah.
And then they brought it into the scientist world, and now we
Scientists.
have,
Yep.
the weed at the store.
We have a nice little package bag. We have LED lights. We have
Yes.
somebody in roller skates coming up to me like, "What would you like to smoke today?" And
Yes.
you're like, "Excuse me?"
But don't you
Where's-
think that they've changed it a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
Okay.
the weed is also way stronger than it was before. I think, I forget, is it like terpenes or something like that? That's what actually gets you high.
Okay.
I think
Is that the THC?
I think
Okay.
that's the T and the THC. It's I think it's like 22 to like 30% now, and like back then growing up, like we never went above 5%. So it's like we are smoking like quadruple the amounts of
Right.
like terpent, and like no wonder we're all getting anxiety and like panicky and all.
Yes.
It's like, oh, this is just too much, And sometimes I'll take like, if now that I know that, especially, I'll take like a hit of like literally like a hit or two, and I'm good. You know what I mean? And like,
Well, because you want to function.
yeah, I'm gonna be drooling.
Right, right. And the whole point of weed was not to do heavy drugs.
Yeah. And then here we are, basically it being heavy drugs.
It was supposed to be like, I know when I was in the 80s, they would tell us that weed was the gateway drug.
Yeah. That was the
that
thing.
you would do weed and then you would do all the other
Yeah,
drugs.
was it the DARE program? That's what I grew up
Yes,
with. Yeah,
yes.
the dog. Yeah.
Yes. And we had the bear for forest fires. We had the
Yeah.
dog for weed. We had animals
mascots.
participating everywhere, helping us out. But it's always funny because I think if you have, then they did green harvest in Hawaii,
Mhm.
where everyone in Hawaii grew weed.
Okay.
Your grandmother grew. It was almost the way, or at least back in the day, it was sort of the way Indians use smoking,
Yes.
like for a ritualistic purpose. And
Yeah.
so in Hawaii, it was like everyone used this
like plant or
ritualistic.
rituals.
Yes. Like it's another herb,
Yeah. Yeah.
type thing.
That's what it is.
And then green harvest came in and then they all became, not all,
Mhm.
but then they had a real opioid problem.
Okay.
Because you could smoke a little weed and not get overly habituated to it, or
Yes.
it become the drug that makes you,
Fight 3 police officers
and-
butt naked
and-
in downtown
and not
Nashville.
go to work
Yeah.
for a week and a half and lose your house.
Yeah.
And, they could do this and function amongst
Yes.
society. But then you start getting into the other harder drugs, and then your brain just serves that drug
Yep.
over and over again. I think we are starting to get that way for the weed
For the weed, yeah.
because they're scientifically altering it.
they're
I
also,
think.
yeah, that's exactly, they're altering it. And I don't even, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
Like,
just grow it.
just leave it alone.
Just grow it
Yeah.
in abundance.
And that's it.
So in real estate, because it is still federally illegal,
Yes.
if you participate as a realtor in renting or selling space that's used for weed, you can go to jail.
I think I've heard that. That's so interesting to me.
Isn't that
That's
interesting?
Interesting.
Because when it first became legal, every realtor was like, okay, we're taking all these empty
Yeah.
industrial spaces
And there's turning them into
and
dispensaries.
we're going to
or
turn them
whatever.
into dispensaries or
Yeah.
grow places. And then you read the laws on it and you're like, oh, I'm not going to jail for this.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
And I'm
yeah.
not even making the money you guys are making on the drugs.
Yeah, it's
I'm
true.
just leasing
I'm
up
just
the
leasing
space,
it
or I'm just selling you the space. It's still going to go work tomorrow. So I thought that was interesting. So
Yeah.
it was one of those things of like, oh, that's kind of, it's funny how several senators in Massachusetts bought up the weed licenses the way
Yep.
liquor store were.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, okay, but federally,
You can't. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
illegal,
Mhm.
but they're senators. So that's why they voted it in, because they
Yep.
wanted to be the first ones to have the,
Yep. Because obviously once it's approved, they're like, all right, well, we've already been looking at some markets. We're gonna buy them, and that's
Yep.
it. Yeah. I told my friend to buy a dispensary one time, and he was like, "Why?" And I was just like, "Dude, free weed. First off, come on. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?" But anytime like I travel, if I ever like bring weed with me, like
Yeah.
if it's legal in the state that you're like, because TSAs are federal employees, so they can choose to take your weed
okay.
if they want to, but they just choose not to, obviously. But I have.
But how do
friends-
they tell a vape pen versus a vape weed pen?
Because
Because don't they look exactly
They
the
look
same?
the same, but I feel like it depends if the cartridge is outside or inside
Oh,
too.
okay.
But I would say like if you're, for me, and this is advice for anybody listening, it's to travel
Mhm.
with drugs. But I feel like if you're ever like traveling and you buy weed from a dispensary, you want to fly somewhere and whatever, like I think don't hide it. Like just
Mhm.
leave it at the top of your, because I have had a friend who like tried to hide it and put it in his sock and all this other stuff, and I was like, what are you doing? And it was like,
That's what we do with Cuban cigars.
Yeah, yeah.
We're not, we're not doing that with the weed pen.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's like they have an X-ray machine, you know
Yeah.
that, right?
The sock
They're
doesn't do
gonna
anything.
See it. It's like 9/11 happened, and that's why we can't bring things on the planes anymore.
Right.
So if you try to hide it, they're gonna think it's worse than what it is.
Right.
Like it's not that. It's weed, dude. It's
Right.
not a big deal. But yeah, I literally just put it always on the top. And there was one time I was flying with my boy. We were in San Diego, and he was so nervous because
Yeah.
I think it was like about like a half ounce, which is like the legal limit that you're able to, and it was like sealed and everything, like it was a brand
Okay.
new bag. And he was like, dude, no, we're gonna stop, we're gonna get pulled over, all this other stuff. And I was like, dude, like we're fine, it's not that big of a deal. And we go through, and our bags were together, and as we go through TSA, as we're walking away about to grab our bag, I feel like a hand on my shoulder, and then he was like, oh no, and he grabbed my friend. He's like, you come with me. He was like, oh, what? And then they went through his bag, and he had lotion in his bag. And my
The moisturizer. It was the moisturizer.
Moisturizer. And I'm
The weed is fine.
a half pound of or a half ounce of weed.
Well, one time I was flying and I had, women's moisturizer might as well be weed. It's more expensive
It's
than
way
it
more
is, right?
expensive.
And it's a see-through container, and it's a 5-ounce container, and I obviously have less than half by a
Okay.
significant amount. Maybe I have a quarter.
Okay.
And I go to the first TSA. It's not a problem. The second TSA stops me, pulls it out, and goes, no liquids over 3 ounces. And I'm like, it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
And he looks at it and he goes, it's a 5-ounce bottle. I go, and
Shake
it's
it.
a quarter full. It's see-through.
Oh,
And he
see-through.
looks at me and throws
Toss it.
it in the garbage. And I go, if you're afraid it's a bomb, why are you throwing it 2 feet from you?
Yeah.
And then I was like, shut up. Shut up. You're going to get arrested. Shut up.
I
Move along. You've lost $72 of moisturizer. Just move along.
I learned jokes don't work at TSA
At all.
ever.
If they're like, when you take a TSA test, they're like, what is your sense of humor? 0. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
They're like, if you smile at once during this interview, you're not getting hired.
So because I have the implantable heart
Okay.
loop recorder, I go through
The other metal detector, like
yeah, I want to go through the metal detector, and if they won't let me, they have to pat me down.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to make jokes on the pat down.
Yep, same.
And probably New Hampshire, Florida, Baltimore, no. Like, it's amazing how some places not even cracking a smile.
Yeah,
And then other places are knowing you're trying to make a joke.
yeah.
You know,
And
because
they'll
I'm like,
acknowledge it,
and
but
they'll
they'll just kind of
acknowledge
like
it.
leave it alone. But they're like,
Yeah.
okay, that was, you know.
like at one time I was just like, oh, and I really needed a massage. You know, it's like
That's
they're
great.
rubbing down my legs and stuff. Like you're trying to and you're trying to see if like, you
yeah,
know,
if it'll work.
it'll
Yeah.
work. I'm practicing here.
Yeah, exactly. I had I was traveling and I had to get pat down, and he was like, I just so you know, I have to pat you down, and between your legs because
With the back of my
with
hand.
the back of my hand, that whole thing. And then I was like, that's totally fine. I saw his name tab. His name was Juan, Guan. So my
Okay.
name, but with a G. So I was like, oh, that's totally fine. I was like, hey, you're not the first one. I was like, how do you pronounce your name? He's like, I think he was from Barbados. So he was like, it is Guan, like Guan. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I was like, my name is Juan. Like, that's crazy. And when he was doing that, I was like, you know, you're not the first Juan to be down there today. And he stopped, and then he like kept going, and I knew I got him with that.
Yeah, and he's like, I can't laugh.
Yeah.
I can't laugh. I'm going to be in trouble. The others can't see me laugh.
And I love it, especially when you like culturally, certain races are more I guess homophobic than others. Like Jamaicans, Haitians are very homophobic because of like buck breaking was like a thing where like slave masters would like buck break the husbands in front of the wives and all that kind of stuff. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
like it's like a lot of history tied to it. And I
Yeah.
get it, but
And if it's not your jam, it's
it's
not your jam.
exactly. And I love the hesitation, or like anytime like, you know, the TSA member is like Haitian or Jamaican and they have to like pat me down, and you can just see like just the disappointment that they're like, just so you know, I have to pat you down. And I'm like, I know that's fine. It happens.
I'm not your type. It's okay. I
get
know.
it.
You can be disappointed.
It's like, I get it. I was like, I know you'd rather her than me, but you know, here we are.
Yeah.
The machine clicked on me. I don't know. I guess it was fate.
Yeah.
I think you clicked the machine. I think you wanted to do this.
Yeah, it's funny because I think, you know, there's the idea that because something is normalized, you know, that it should be everyone's okay with it.
Yes.
But it's also like, but everyone's not okay with eating whatever it is, eating meat or
Yes.
like whatever it is. It's like we can have our own factions on doing what we want to do.
Yes.
And if we don't want to do it, that's our prerogative as well.
Exactly. And don't judge me. Don't question me. It's just not my thing. And then that's it. And we
Yeah.
can move on from there.
Yeah. And when you said the whole thing about, you know, how culturally and what happened to them over time would make
Yes.
them even that much more adverse
Yes.
than, say, like the normal, like, please don't touch that.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You're the wrong one.
Yeah,
I don't like you.
Not you.
Not you. Her. Not you.
Not you.
You know, like,
Back in hand. Back in hand.
you know, and I don't even know where I was going to go with that, but when now you're doing the back of the hand, I'm
Yeah.
starting to laugh because, you know, sometimes my husband and I will be joking like, I'm only using the back of my hand.
That's good.
know?
That's good.
So that kind of got me off track. Yeah, but back to the individualized thing, you know, we've all kind of got to the society type that it has to revolve around us.
Yes.
And one of the best things in the world is not to be selfish. Don't make the world revolve
Don't
around
make the
you.
world revolve around you. Everybody has their own stuff that they're going through.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking at you as narcissistic as we all might seem. It's like everybody has their own stuff that they're going through. And like, yes, I might have seen you trip while you were crossing the street, but guess what? Rent is due in 3 days, and I have $3 in my bank account, so I'm thinking about that. You know?
Right. But I'm gonna laugh at you falling, just like you laugh at me when I'm falling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Check if
It's a
I'm
moment.
okay.
Exactly. And then, are you good? All right, get up, dummy. And then,
So Greg Warren says that when you fall down the bleachers as a kid, everyone laughs. At his age, if you fall down the bleachers, everyone's like, "Sir, are you okay?"
yeah, it's
That's
bad.
how you know you're. And the sound it makes on the bleachers.
It's a louder sound than a 12-year-old toddler or whatever falling down. It's a very light sound.
Yeah, you got to watch Greg Warren.
That's
He's
good.
pretty good. You'll like him. And then Life of Brian
Life of Brian, yes.
from Monty Python.
Yes. Oh, you need to watch Obsession.
I'm gonna watch Obsession.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Scary Movie. If you like the Scary Movies franchise, I just watched it yesterday. That was great.
Okay.
That was good.
I haven't seen that in a while, actually. So thank you, Juan. Thank you for
course.
coming.
Thank you for having me
And
on.
to remind everyone, he's going to be at Fuego's tonight. Doors open at 7. The show starts at 8. The address is 368 Central Ave in Dover, New Hampshire. Fuego's. They have food and alcohol and comedy. Join us tonight. We will see you later. Until then, have a great week. You are listening to Lisa and Robin on the mic on WSMN, 1590 AM, 95.3 FM. We're always up after the hour on Spotify and everywhere you find your podcasts. Have a great week, guys.